Good evening. Following decades of fear, a stalking victim is sharing her story in hopes that other women will come forward.
Greg Farrar was convicted of stalking and harassing several women in southeastern South Dakota back in 1998.
And now he faces new charges, and at least one of his original victims is included in the court documents. KELOLAND's Renee Ortiz has her story.
Stephanie Reiners has lived in Parker for several years, but has never felt safe in her own home.
It never ends for me. It just never ends. He had been stalking around my house to where I couldn't leave my windows open at night and leave the shades open, drive by my house over and over again, bang on my door time after time, and even grab the handle to try to come in.
This patio is one of Reiner's favorite spots, but she rarely spends time outside.
You come to a point where you are so frustrated that it's just like you go in and shut your door and you don't work out in your yard, you don't sit on your patio, and because you just never know. The minute you take and go, all right, maybe I'm gonna get a break, the minute you relax, boom, there he is.
Reiners was one of the women called to court in 1998 when Greg Farrar was charged with 63 counts of stalking and making harassing calls.
I got a subpoena to go in a courtroom because he had dialed my phone well over 100 times.
Farrar was convicted of 11 counts and spent some time in jail. Reiner says that wasn't the last time she heard from him.
Hey, Steph, this is Greg Farrar. I've just been trying to get a hold of you. All I wanted to say is I hope the roses that you got at Valentine's Day were okay.
For the last 10 years, Reiner says Farrar has continued to call, send letters, and even show up at her work. Now that he's accused of groping an elderly woman in Freeman and facing charges, Reiners is telling her story in hopes of finding justice and a sense of safety.
I just need everybody to please come forth because I can't be terrorized for the rest of my life from this man, and I wish this upon nobody. And I hope everybody, just one story, please, let's take care of this.
Renee Ortiz, KELOLAND News.
Farrar is scheduled to be back in court on Monday. Now, we also spoke with the Freeman police chief, who is also asking other women who have had run-ins with Farrar to come forward.